tracking calories doesn't have to be permanent, but it can change your life if you do it correctly and build the right foundation. And so I used to believe that tracking was, tedious. I used to think it was annoying to do and, it wasn't necessary. And so I wouldn't track calories and then I would wonder why the scale hadn't gone down. But the real reason is because I hadn't built the skill of awareness, of understanding how many calories am I truly eating or drinking every single day. And most of the time, people have no clue that they're overeating calories like crazy. And I didn't know that until I, started to track more consistently. And then I finally started to develop the habit, the foundation, the awareness. And, I'll tell you another example. I had a client who refused to track, right? I was trying to get him to track and he was really not about it. And he said that, he just really didn't want to do it. He trained 6 days per week. He trained 2-hour workouts and he was busting his ass doing cardio every day, not just normal cardio, intense cardio. And so he was doing all the hard work, but still the scale wasn't budging. And so I told him, trust me on this. Track in the beginning, it does not have to be permanent. And so I told him it's temporary. You're gonna need to build the skill because you don't realize that you're overeating the calories and you also don't know how to fit in the right food so that you eat more food while eating, the same amount of calories. And so he ended up doing it. He trusted the process. He tracked his calories. He logged his meals. And, he did this for a certain period of time. I think if I'm doing it correctly, it was anywhere from 4 to 5 months. It's been a couple of years now. And, he lost 30 pounds. He's kept the weight off since. He's not even in the program anymore. And to this very day, he's in the best shape of his life and getting more in shape as he continues. He'll send me updates, right? And he does not track any calories to this day. And so it depends on the person. For me, I do it because I like to see what foods I'm eating. It's lazier and easier for me. It feels like a lazy way for me. Some people, it doesn't feel that way, and I totally understand. But I'm so glad that he trusted the process and developed the skill so that now he doesn't even need to track calories anymore. He doesn't even need to log meals. And that's the same way I am. I do it because I actually don't mind it. I like to do it. And I like to see exactly how much protein I'm hitting. But for him, he literally doesn't track any calories, log any meals. And he's in the best shape of his life. He kept all the weight off. And it's insane, but it makes sense, right? Because if you're going to get good at basketball, how many reps do you think it takes to get good and perfect your shot? It takes so many reps. And so especially in the beginning. And so you need to do the repetitions in order to understand with your mind how it works, how calories work, how to, really make sure that you're in a calorie deficit consistently by making sure that you're logging the meals. You're making sure that you understand labels and you're checking the back of labels and you're seeing, what's the highest protein to lowest calorie ratio that I could find that will help me out. And this is another topic I'll talk about in a different video, but he actually ate very, I would say, unhealthy for majority of his weight loss progress working with me. And so some people would be like, oh, that's so bad for you, this and that. But the thing is he eats much healthier now. He was just a very picky individual that ate out a lot. And so I told him, you know what? I want you to continue eating the foods that you love. So he was eating Taco Bell weekly. He wasn't doing the once in a year or whatever cheat meal. He was literally eating Taco Bell, Subway, spaghetti, pasta, whatever it was. He did not cut out foods, but what he did do is he made sure that he cut down his portions, and he also was making sure that he was hitting the right calories and the right protein goals. And so that's what you need to do is build the awareness on, understanding how much, calories you're consuming every day and tracking correctly. And so with him, it's you can literally just make sure that you're eating the right foods and staying at deficit. For me, I like to be full. And so, some people have different levels. I think for him, it was more he wanted to be satisfied and maybe he got full quicker than someone like me. And so he was able to eat higher calorie foods and still fit that in. For me, I like to stack as many low calorie, high protein foods as I can so that I literally feel full in my stomach and then go to bed. But he was content with the foods he was eating. And even though they were a bit higher calorie, they still had his protein goal and they still kept him at a calorie deficit. And now he's eating more foods, trying more things out. I'm telling you, on the other side of things, when you're in shape, it's much easier to start, improving your health and going for longevity when you're actually in shape. So stop trying to eat super healthy, only clean when you're very overweight. And the number one thing that you should be doing is getting to that goal weight.